asking me to pick my favorite palettes would be like asking me to pick a favorite child. And I don't have any children, but I have many fucking palettes. Hi friends, hi, my name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're also quite critical of it. Today we are doing a ranking video of 25 palettes. I have a little over 30. I'm trying to whittle them down this year. Maybe I will get to 25 on the head. We'll see. And it's in collaboration with my gorgeous friend Sally Choi here on YouTube. What can I say about Sally? She's a ray of sunshine. She is so positive. She's upbeat without being obnoxious. She's a complete sweetheart. Very chill, positive energy. If you're into that, I do suggest checking out her channel, looking at her video. I'm gonna link everything down below. A couple of palettes that I won't mention simply because I've had them for a couple of weeks before the quarantine started, just before, and I haven't had time to properly play with them. These are the Kaleidos Futurism palette, Sci-Fi Green, and the Astro Pink. Beautiful palettes, but I need time and careful consideration and tender loving applied to them before I can rank them. So these are not gonna be included in here, but I love them and they're a beautiful gift. So thank you, you know who you are. With the exception of a couple of palettes, the very last in the ranking, I do believe that all of these, they're beloved. They are fine, most of them. Some are extraordinary and wonderful, but most of them are fine. So it was quite hard trying to pick a ranking for them because I love them. I love most of them. I don't know how to pick. Like, I had to do the math and it was quite a lot of mental math. I don't want to go through that again. Without further ado, let's discuss about all of the pretty palettes that I have in my collection. And we're going to start bottom to top. So from place 25, the shittiest of the shit, to number 1, the palettes that I would immediately repurchase and cannot live without. At the very bottom of the food chain lives the Too Faced Chocolate Chip palette. Look, I love it for emotional reasons. There is an emotional connection there that I spoke about in my Makeup That Sparks Joy video, but objectively this is a shit palette. It's Ash City, it doesn't last on the eyes, it's very powdery, there's lots of kick up. It's like, I've got a Dracula skin tone and even on me it doesn't quite show up, so I doubt it would work on anyone darker than me. I think this would work if you're similar to my skin tone or lighter and want very, very, very subtle looks. The second worst palette, it's not even that bad, but I'm keeping it out of spite and because it disappointed me so bad. This is the Urban Decay Naked 3. I don't think I need to show it to you guys because everybody knows what this palette looks like. It and its brethren were stuff of legend, the OGs. This was my first big girl makeup purchase, baby's first paycheck spent in Sephora, and I was very disappointed. The mattes are nothing special, they're quite powdery. The shimmers are absolutely fucking nothing special. The tones, they're not my favorite, so as I morphed more and more into my signature style of airy, fairy makeup looks, this kind of reminded me of the failure of picking one first grown-up palette for myself. And I'm keeping it out of spite. I be damned if I let this thing go before it rots in my drawers. This is a reminder to not buy shit that doesn't fit me and a reminder to pay attention to the shit I buy. The next one is the NYX Grind palette. This was part of a limited edition type of thing. It's a very subculture-ish type of color scheme. I'm sorry, I'm blinding you. Okay, I'm just gonna... The problem with this is there is quite a lot of fallout in the darker shades, and they do tend to be quite patchy if you don't work very well with them and just don't baby them, and the shimmers do tend to be just a little bit chunky. The one beautiful duochrome that is over here doesn't quite pack enough of a punch. The other palette is the NYX Ignite from the same collection. This performs better, but again, I do feel that the shimmers are lackluster. This is a beautiful color story. It would have benefited from a darker matte and have them get rid of this bullshit cream shade that nobody fucking needs, nobody fucking asked for. Mattes are fine, blendable, but it's just a bit disappointing overall. It just wallows in its own mediocrity, and that is why it won't move up the ladder. At a cozy number 21 is a very utilitarian palette for me, and this is the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil, which is your standard fair, medium quality rainbow palette. Some have powderiness, some have kick up, some are a bit patchy, some have fallout. Overall, I would say this palette is a 7 out of 10. It doesn't inspire me overall, it doesn't awe me with its quality, but for me it's a workhorse because it fills certain colorful gaps in my collections. Like, I don't have an orange like this, and I don't wear often enough an orange like this to excuse buying a new one. I don't have a green like this. Do I ever wear green like this? Maybe once a year. Don't have a hot pink like this anywhere else. So for me, it's the palette that I pull for at the odd syzygy conjunction of planets. By the way, the crazy word syzygy is. It doesn't even look real, does it? It is. Google it. I learned it a couple of days ago and I can't stop thinking about it. Okay, I'm done nerding out, but I use this when it's needed, and I always think maybe I should declutter it, and then there's a time when I actually do need it. So it stays forever and ever. 20! The YEMOJA palette, which I don't know what the deal is with me and this palette and why I do not use it more, because the quality is really nice. I have a review on it. By the way, any relevant videos, I will link them down below or in the eye, depends where I remember to put them. I hate the packaging, I really do. The mattes are beautiful, pigmented, lush. The shimmers are gorgeous, very foiled. Some of them, like Ogun and Oyo, do have a tendency for fallout, and some mattes, particularly the darker ones, do have a tendency for fallout as well. It is beautiful. I think the problem with me and this palette is that the pan size gives me anxiety, and I promised myself that I will never buy again palettes that have this sized pans. It's a waste on me. I like variety more than I like quantity in eyeshadow. Number 19, ZOEVA Spice of Life. ZOEVA quality is exquisite in both their mattes and their shimmers. I always find that their shimmers, while they do look one-toned in the pan, they always seem to have a hidden depth to them. A hidden, maybe a little duochrome flip that's not easily detectable, maybe some micro glitter that looks different. That is the beauty of ZOEVA palettes. However, this palette, while beautiful, review up on it as well, it's a bit of a one-trick pony. There's only a number of looks that you can come up with, but the individual shades are gorgeous. I always pull for some of the shimmers with different mattes, or the mattes themselves with a duochrome on the lid, something stronger, something poppier. I love the quality of this. It's just that on its own, it doesn't satisfy me. Another ZOEVA palette at number 18, this is the ZOEVA Eclectic Eyes, which is ranked lower for a lack of mattes. You only have a cream matte, a taupish, brownish matte, and then this gray, which are very interesting choices, but they don't help you create a cohesive look if that's what you want for. I do feel that this palette is great for washes of one color over the lid and then this in the crease. If I want something more complicated, I need to pull for another palette. But yet again, quality, chef's kiss. 17, the BH Cosmetics Golden Twilight. I wish all palettes had these pan sizes, because then it would allow me to have more variety in my little collection without taking up space. This is gorgeous, but again, this is a palette that needs a companion for me, and that is due not because of the palette itself, because I do feel that it has a nice variety of shades, but because of the way that I wear makeup. These are not entirely my tones. I either pull for the mattes and then add a duochrome on the lid, or one of these shimmers and then something colorful in the crease. Like, it's great quality, great price point, amazing palette. If you're into neutrals, I highly recommend it. This is ranked lower simply because of my preferences with how I do certain looks. Next, we have the Pat McGrath EXTASY Mini, which was a gift from my beautiful, gorgeous friend Mariam here on YouTube. Look, these shimmers are out of the world. Stunning, beautiful, pigmented. I think I could cover my whole body up with a swatch or two. The problem is that it is an all shimmer palette, so I always do pull for another one to complement it unless I'm doing a one shadow look. But the shadow themselves, perfection. 15. NABLA Poison Garden, which was accused by the beauty community of being a catfish because the interior does not match the exterior. I do think it matches when you overlay Adoration over the other shades. This is smack in the middle. NABLA is my favorite brand. If you've been here a while, you're already sick of hearing about NABLA. Sorry, not sorry. Cools, some warms, some browns, another cream shade that nobody gives a shit about and nobody fucking asked for. It's beautiful by itself, but I don't wear it as much as their other palettes, and I don't know why. I honestly don't. Beautiful quality though, except Majorelle, which is quite difficult to work with to keep at this color and not have it blend out at less intensity. Next set of 5, we've got the Juvia's Place DOUCE palette, which I think translates to sweet-mannered in French, something like that. It's a beautiful palette and it is a very multitasking palette. I'm not entirely in love with the JUVIA'S matte formula, but this shade, Creme, beautiful as a blush. These two, beautiful as a highlighter. This works as a blush as well with a very light hand. This mint green, I have nothing else like it in my collection. I do think that it is a beautiful, beautiful multitasking palette, and you can easily do a full face with this palette. At number 13, we have the Juvia's Magic Mini palette. My boyfriend is torturing the cat. Come on, bring her over, let them see her. Might as well. Let the poor baby alone. This is proof that she loves him more than me, because she would never allow me to do this shit to her. I would get my eyes clawed out before I could do this shit to her. Okay, enough. I need to film now. As I was saying, the Magic Mini. This has a beautiful mix of mattes and shimmers. Some of these shimmers are quite duochromed. You've got some beautiful jewel toned, some very interesting dark mattes that can bring a whole new dimension to a look, darkening it without graying it out like a black would do. I think this is an absolutely gorgeous high quality palette. At number 12, we have COLOURPOP Brown Sugar, and of my favorite neutral palettes. You've got some really interesting shimmers in here. They're absolutely gorgeous, taking you from workday, sultry, smoky, private detective type of smoky eye going on, and the quality is absolutely amazing, top to bottom. Another one of my fave neutral palettes sits at spot 11. This is the Huda Beauty Mini Obsessions Nude, which is, look, if all you want is a nude palette with some rosy tones, this is it. It's a beautiful, it's just amazing quality. The shimmers, some of them have a little translucency to them, so they're not very foiled, they're not metallic, they're more on the glittery fairy tale sort of side, and I do love this palette to bits. Number 10, COLOURPOP It's My Pleasure, which granted is a bit of a one-trick pony because this is a monochrome purple-ish, mauve-ish palette. I do love so many of the shimmers in here. Do or Do, Earthshine, Mr. Sandman, all of them are absolutely gorgeous. The mattes are great quality, highly blendable. I love this palette, but this is the NABLA Dreamy OG. Once upon a time, my holy grail palette. I didn't think that I would need anything else, and then my makeup tastes changed. But for someone that loves neutral tones, a pop of purple, rosy tones, this is everything that you need. Aside from Delirium, which is a bit of a dud, it's a bit of a fussy shade, needs a bit of glitter glue, has some fallout, I think all of these other shades are absolutely outstanding. Immaculate is a beautiful topper. The shimmers, pigmented, metallic, they glide like butter, they're amazing. The next one is another NABLA palette, and this is the Dreamy 2, a much more gothy, sultry sort of palette. These shimmers are so dimensional, so sparkly. They just they sparkle across the multiverse. They're so beautiful, so beautiful. The mattes are truly unique. You've got this shade Dionysus that doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be. It's not a matte, it's not a shimmer. I think it's a new formula of theirs, and it's just such a beautiful red, such a beautiful red. Beautiful palette. Again, we've got this cream shade that nobody fucking needs in every goddamn NABLA palette. I'm just sick of them putting it in there. Surpassed by the ColourPop Through My Eyes palette, which is a tropical dream. You've got these beautiful green jewel tones, oranges, warms, pinks, dark mauve. It's such a stunning palette, and I always pull for it, be it to do a complete look or just for a shimmer, just for a matte. It's one of my favorite palettes in my collection. And I initially didn't think much of it when ColourPop came out with it, and I dismissed it. I said, oh, it's a warm palette with a pop of green. Yeah, I was wrong. At number 6, we've got the MAC Pony Park palette, which was a gift from my mom, and it is yet again proof that I come from a long line of women with excellent taste. This is a beautiful neutral palette, and what I like the most about this is that the shimmers have a translucent, sheer, sparkly quality to them that is absolutely unique. And I love having, when I want to wear a neutral, I love having a neutral look that is barely there, that is me but better without being overly matte, keeping my signature sparkle and shine look, and this is exactly what it gives me. It gives me that, and I love it. Oh my god, final 5. Are you excited? Because I am. Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes, my staple matte palette. You have no idea how many times I just pull for this and then pop an unusual or a duochrome single on the lid, or I do a colorful lid and then I use these mattes. These are my tones. They're so flattering on my cooler leaning neutral skin tone. You've got peaches, you've got neutrals, you've got pinks. I think this palette has everything. I would cry if I lost it. ColourPop Sweet palette. This is just beautiful. I could care less about the pressed glitters. If they are beautiful, but I don't use them day to day. I just use them for Instagram looks because I'm quite wary of them. I'm afraid of the possible eye issues that they could cause. So I prefer to use them in a controlled environment, at home, take a photo, take them off. The rest of the shades are absolutely beautiful. Very, very flattering tones for my skin tone. You've got some yellowish leaning neutrals. You've got this side to side shade that is so glossy, so wet looking on the skin. It reminds me a bit of NABLA Water Dream, but a bit juicier. Water Dream is more airy. I feel this gives a more watery feel. I know it's a strange description, but I don't know how else to put it. The mattes, again, beautiful, beautiful quality. I can't fault this palette for anything except the existence of those dastardly glitters that ColourPop has a fetish for. Number 3, ColourPop Good Sport, which suits all of my grungy, dark autumn needs. Beautiful shades. The shade Rookie is so special. It's a brown with a blue glitter sparkle throughout. Absolutely gorgeous. Everything performs really well. Trooper is one of my favorite yellows that I have in my collection, and I feel that this is the perfect palette for fall. Number 2. I love this, and I love it for all of the reasons that other people hated it. The Huda Beauty Neon Grease is sheer, it's sparkly, it's a glitter fest, and exactly that is why I love it. I love it for its sheer wash of color mass. They're more pastels, honestly they are. I've got a 3 looks 1 palette with it where I truly show you that this is great for Garden Fairy, Spring Fairy makeup looks, not neon raver. The shimmers again have this translucent base that is full of sparkle, full of multi-dimensional glitter, absolutely beautiful as a one show on the lids. I love it, one of my favorites. And number 1, my most loved palette. The palette that if I had to give up all other palettes, I would be happy just having this one. And that's saying a lot. NABLA Soul Bloomy. NABLA Soul Blooming has everything that I could ever want out of life. I've got 2 duochrome topper shades with a translucent base. I've got 2 true duochromes that are opaque. I've got neutrals, I've got pink tones, I've got browns, I've got a pop of blue that doesn't perform that well, but it works. It's a bit of a blurple type of shade. I have a 5 looks, 1 palette, a 3 looks, 1 palette video with that. Just, I love this to bits and pieces. It's one of my favorite palette of life. I'm done. It took a while. I hope this video isn't like 100 years long because I don't want to edit that much. It's always fun filming. Editing is the shittier part of this whole YouTube endeavor. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please share in the comments down below what your favorite palette is of life. I really would like to know. Don't forget to check out Sally's channel. And don't forget to check out her video. Give her a thumbs up. You know what to do. I want you guys to stay safe, stay indoors, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and please go ahead, have a wonderful morning, evening, second breakfast, third lunch, whatever it is you're from. Bye!